Papa Team 6, welcome to another episode of For the Dads. This is episode 5. You might be listening to me in your car right now. Maybe you're listening to me. Maybe you are in the rocker trying to get the little one back to sleep. Maybe you're at work just so you have one AirPod in, listening during a meeting. Maybe you're hanging with your wife. Maybe she's giving you a little bit of an earful that you deserve, and for whatever reason, you're tuned out a little bit listening to this podcast For the Dads. This is episode 5. We are on a new YouTube channel. Thank you all for showing up to this YouTube channel, but also, dads, boomer dads, listen, I know men, our attention span can be short and very fleeting. Please subscribe to this channel. Yes. If you're part of Papa Team 6, you are subscribed to For the Dads. There are wives out there's mom, there's wives, there's a lot of people tuning in. Whether you're a dad that's in it, about to be in it, whether you just want to listen to the guys chop it up and talk, you want to be part of Papa Team 6, you are subscribed to this podcast. And
you're a real sicko.
If you're a real sicko, dude, if you're a Papa Seal right now, you might not even be a dad yet, and you're just dropping in Seaman Team 6, Seed Team 6.
I love that.
You like that?
Yes.
Subscribe. Subscribe to the channel. The views have been awesome. A lot more views than there are subscriptions. I get that it's a process. I know last week when we were shouting out the podcast, it was super hard to find because you had to be specific on typing in @ForTheDadsPod, no spaces, nothing, just like a username in YouTube to even find this channel. Now you can just type in For the Dads and find it. But again, make sure you're subscribed to the boys. We are on all socials @ForTheDadsPod.
Yep.
Our YouTube channels @ForTheDadsPod. But yeah, subscribe, leave comments. The comments have been amazing.
They've been nuts.
Comments have been awesome, dude.
I was
the community is growing.
I was overwhelmed. I'll say this later, but I was overwhelmed by all the comments and people that reached out in my DMs. I was overwhelmed. It was crazy.
You want to read a few?
Yeah, I would love to. First
we gotta
off,
shout out the people dropping comments. They gotta know that we're there, that we're showing up. That we're showing up.
100%. And to your point, shout out to the 8.5K sickos that typed in @ForTheDadsPod.
I like to think they all typed in @ForTheDadsPod.
They all typed it in, and they're absolute sickos. They're Papa Team 6. I'll start out with Hunter Powell. He said, Sherman, the best gift you can give your wife is being the dad she always wanted. My wife grew up with an absent dad as well, and she has told me watching me be a dad and her knowing our daughter will grow up with a dad has healed so many wounds for her. Being vulnerable in the comments is sick. Shout out Hunter Powell for that.
Dude, shout out Hunter. I'm reading this one from Blake. Blake Lee 464 fellas. And this is a little this could be a little bit of a dad hack because I didn't even think about this one. Fellas, here's a major W from the first member of Papa Team 6. ChatGPT has walked me through the absolute war zone of sleep training with my 2.5-year-old. Slept 9 hours straight by herself last night for the first time in 2 years.
No.
4 nights ago, I was asking myself, am I built for this? Am I built for the A-gap? Am I truly a member of PT6? And this morning, I woke up and realized I might just be Himothy. Huge dad W for this dad of 2. Shout out the boy Blake.
What, that was Blake that said that?
Yeah, that was Blake.
Dude, shout out Blake.
Blake Lee 464 from PT6.
In 2 years, dude, I'm sitting there 2 nights and I'm thinking, oh man, I don't know how much longer I can do it. 2 years.
2 years. Dude, sleep training is hard, man. Like I've, knock on wood, yes. I was lucky with the first 2. Rue took a little bit longer than Scotty. And again, shout out that 12 hours and 12 weeks book, but it's a war zone.
It's a war zone.
It's a process.
Yeah.
It's a process.
It's something that a Papa Seal can only take on. And to that point, Mike Cody, 8182, he kept it short and sweet. He said, Papa Team 6 with the flex, and don't forget Trash Day. Remember what got us here. Trash Day got us here, but also shout out Papa Team 6. And I took a photo today. Today's actually my trash day. We record on Monday. I took a photo. I forgot to tweet it. That's the first thing I'll do.
You got to stay on it.
I got to stay
Papa
on it.
Seals now. Papa Team 6. We got to get out there. That's the way we engage and build the community because people are probably wondering, like I did see people wanting the fatherhood. I think I saw a lot more for Papa Team 6.
A lot of Papa Team 6.
At first, I was more of a fatherhood guy. But then I got to thinking, I'm like, Papa Team 6 is just more fun. Because you know me,
So
I'm a little
fun.
sicko. I like to rally the army up every now and then.
do.
I like to just, I never know how to refer to it as. Just say like, hey, for example, when I went to war with Expedia a couple years ago,
Yeah.
it was getting the army, taking our nation into a war. and be ready to not come back. There's a fantasy I have where you just rally Papa Team 6, whether it's in the comments, you have fun on social media. I have those little fantasies.
Yes.
But also like playing into it, it's like, let's say for example, you post a photo of your kid. It's like, welcome to the fatherhood. Welcome to Papa Team 6.
Yes.
You see the fatherhood, I feel like that feels way more universal and generic, even though I think it's sick. I think it's cool. And I do think we should get those upside down fatherhood hats made.
Yeah.
But it seems like something that's normal, right? If you see like welcome to Papa Team 6, like anybody that's outside of the audience that for whatever reason might be on the page
Yes.
at For the Dad Spot, and they see welcome to Papa Team 6, it kind of makes you pause for a second.
They're
like,
probably
what?
Googling it.
Why is everybody saying Papa Team 6? It's kind of funny, kind of like an inside joke, kind of like an inside community thing that only Papa Seals understand.
You know who the real sickos are in Papa Team 6 are those guys that we have been doing PT6 on Twitter. I've seen you do it. I've done it myself. I've seen a couple others. People on my wife's Instagram posting a picture of Scarlett, and people in the comments, welcome to PT6, Sherm. I'm like, that's a sicko.
We need,
in a good way.
We need to mobilize Papa Team 6, not for the wars that probably will be had at some points in time with the TikTok bombs of the world who might come across clips of ours, and it's bound to happen at some point.
It will happen.
But
it will happen.
Even for recruiting purposes.
Yes.
You just see somebody you tag in somebody else's video, we need to get this guy on Papa Team 6. This is Papa Team 6 potential.
Shout out Chef too. He had an incredible idea for some merch of just some dads coming through, like clearing a room, and you have one with the spatula, you got one with tongs, and he's like on a grill. Another one coming in, maybe he's got the burp cloth and he's got the bottle, but they like look military. They look like SEALs.
Night vision goggles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be electric.
Maybe a dad strapped with a carrier with a baby on the chest.
Double strapped. He's got one on the back.
Yeah, one on the back.
It'd be so good.
With the backpack on, and then out of the side sleeve, you just see the top half of a bottle.
Yeah.
Ooh, I love the detail.
The bomb diffuser would be just a guy with a baby breeza, and he's computing on the baby breeza. It'd be so good.
BWTB.com. That's where you get our merchandise. And I love the detail that our merchandise has. Like there's one, oh man, I was posting about it yesterday, but I was kind of going through all the detail of the wolf working out in the weight room, like blood, sweat, and beers, like on his shirt, like For the Dads or something, and like something down off to the side. But there's a lot of like cool detail that I feel like we get to have fun with.
100%.
Now that we get to make our own merch.
100%, and just to tease the merch in general, we got a shipment in of the Bussin Summer Beat the Heat merch in last week, I believe, and just seeing some of that.
Yeah.
And I'll just tease it. It's insane.
Which product are you talking about? Because it's Wednesday. Like we have new merch that just dropped yesterday.
Okay, well,
for,
so
like,
we do have the Hawaiian
theme matching set, fire,
which is fire. And I really don't want to tread in water that I'm not supposed to on teasing this merch. Do I have permission to go into detail?
Yes.
There's some polos coming in that are unreal.
Are we talking good material polos that some golf dads can wear?
Yeah, and one that is, there's some girl dad homages with one of the polos that I'm telling you, I cannot wait to be on the golf course. This is not a pitch for the merch. I want to be on the golf course in this one polo immediately. So keep your eyes out for that. It's so sick. So sick.
Get us juice. Get the boys rocked up.
Let's go.
Get the boys rocked up on a Wednesday morning.
Let's go.
Dad's out there just getting the trash can bins out to the curb, just getting rocked up, listening to that little teaser.
There's so many W's with the L's, dude. There's so many
W's.
There's so many W's.
Buddy, there are so many L's in parenthood.
Yeah.
And again, if you're new to this show, we run over a lot of different things. We talk about our dad losses. We talk about what we'd crack a cold one to.
Yep.
What are the odds?
Yep.
Shout out FanDuel. Survival kit, what to put in the survival kit. Some dad hacks.
Yep.
Some lessons that we're learning along the way in fatherhood to be a Papa Seal. Quote, we go through voicemails, call in, 601 the dads. People call in. We've had a lot of call-ins. Chef Jack in the back. He has about, 4 lined up for us today?
4 good ones.
Yeah, 4 good ones. Even a mom called in. She knows what we're talking about. And Chef got a shout out on the voicemail. And just a little cheat code for anybody that's wanting their
voicemail to be put on the show, you shout out Chef at the top. There's a good chance he's probably going to listen to the rest of it.
That is true.
Just a little dad hack. Just a little dad hack.
Massage him a little bit.
Yo, hey, and shout out Chef.
Yeah.
I know
hey,
you're
Chef
listening.
Jack, I know you're listening to this right now, breaking down this voicemail. Let me put a heater on you real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Let me put a question up for the boys real quick. Yeah. That'll probably get you fast track to the front of the line.
That will fast track you. He pulled one of them up, and the shout out to Chef was strong. And I started hitting Chef when I was listening to it. I was like, that guy knows what he's doing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. 601 The Dads. You call in. That's our hotline. We go through calls. And then at the very end of the episode, we roll credits. And the credits that we roll are moments of parenthood, of fatherhood that you have with your little one. Maybe it's a gender reveal. Maybe you're doing like you're acting and you're playing dress up with your daughter or your son. Maybe you're in the backyard running around and playing. Maybe you're having a nice dinner moment. Whatever it is, we like to roll some feel-good moments at the end of the episode in our credits. Yep. Just to embrace the fatherhood that goes on out there.
Embrace the fatherhood. Another quick shout-out. We'll have a plug at the end of episodes, moving forward for future episodes. But for the time being, the National Parent Helpline, we shouted them out last week. We'll shout them out again really quick. That's 1-855-427-2736. That's the National Parent Helpline, open 24 hours. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say the National Parent Hotline. That's where you go for real.
That's where you go for real help, guys. If you're calling in and you got some actual issues, stuff that you need to get off your chest, you need some help at home, you will be matched with a master's in counseling that is there to help you 24/7. So shout out National Parent Helpline.
Yes, because we don't have a master's degree.
No.
This is not an expert. This is not an expert podcast.
Got a master's degree in PT6.
Got a master's degree in
do.
PT6.
You do.
Which is fun. You know, a lot like you. We talk through this stuff, all things fatherhood. But again, we are not experts on the show. And to go off that, I did have a bone to pick with Chef Jack.
Oh, no.
Because I said it last week. I think I gave you a title or a caption for the episode. And I go on and I see Will Compton gives parenting advice for your first child. And for whatever reason, I get triggered by giving parenting advice, being on like YouTube and coming across like this is where you go for advice. I don't mind that people enjoy and consume it and use tips, use stuff that we talk about and help relate it to their situation. And it might turn out to be advice for them. But it's more of like the positioning of Will gives parenting advice, because I hate feeling like I'm like, talking to a group saying this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't do. It's more of just like our own life experience. But that's a tip you can write down for yourself, Chef Jack, because I know you probably got it from somewhere else and they probably signed off on it. And we won't say who it is.
And can I put Chef Jack?
But I'll come in hot on a phone call and say, I don't give a shit if the SEO and this wording is better for the YouTube algorithm. I personally don't like projecting that I'm the expert and I'm the one giving advice.
And to I've been in that seat with Bussin With The Boys, and to put you on game, Chef Jack, the best move you could ever do is as soon as they sign off on a title, copy, paste it, text it to this guy solo and say, hey, team likes this. And this guy will rip it in 5 seconds and go, fuck that, go with this. And then all you have to do is hit those people back and say, Will's going with this. You're good. You're good. Oh, yeah.
That's good advice. That's expert advice.
I learned.
You have a master's.
I have a master's in keeping Will Compton happy with his podcast. So if as long as you run it by Will, you're good.
I just pop on and it's the first 5 words. Will Compton gives parenting advice. And I was wanting to fucking break the screen. I didn't do it because I didn't want to hit up Chef Jack. We just started our 4th of July break. I don't want bad vibes going on because it was a wonderful 4th of July.
A new intern.
I know. I'm not trying to come off hot. You know what I mean?
But some of my favorite texts are those 6 a.m. texts that you I'll wake up to. It's a beautiful book that you put together. And I truly giggle a little bit. I am a little scared because I'm like, I want to make Will happy, but I do giggle a little bit. Imagining you in your garage weight room typing out that text message
in the middle of a set, stewing on it for a couple sets, just sitting there. All right, I got 3 minutes rest on this one. I'm going to fire this one off.
Sherm, what the fuck?
I'll type in like half of it and then go hit a set and come back and be like, all right, here.
No, I can't say that because I told him. I told him not to do that.
I know. I'll sit here and second guess myself. Did I not say this? I could have swore I said this.
Been there.
Yeah. It's a learn.
It's a learn, dude.
It's an intern loss.
It's an intern loss. Brought
And
to
when
you
you
by
learn
Chef
from
Jack.
it, it's something you crack a cold one to as an intern.
Watch him just kill this next title, dude.
Chef just sitting back there nodding. Yep.
The goat. The goat.
Should we dive in?
Yes, I'm in to dive in.
We had, an incredible weekend all around. We went back home from Missouri for the 4th of July. Some good parenting stories from that we'll dive into. But you're a dad, bro.
It's crazy.
You're a couple claps, just a couple claps. There's only 3 of us here. And I apologize if you heard that thunder. It is raining outside. It is storming outside.
And
so I apologize if you hear the thunder.
That was man upstairs clapping, saying, yo, what up? Maybe.
Fired up for you.
Maybe.
You're a new dad. You're officially a Papa Seal. No more soon-to-be dad.
Yep.
You are now in it.
Yes.
In it in a way to where we got to keep this show under an hour.
Dude.
We got to keep it tight.
Hey, we got to keep it tight because I got to get back to my girl. She'll probably see this when it comes out on Wednesday.
You have your first pediatrician appointment.
First pediatrician appointment. Honey, I will be there. I know that we're watching this in the future. I will be there. I love you. And I just checked my phone. I don't know if that was on camera. I'm checking the phone to see if you texted me.
Got to keep it under an hour.
Got to keep it under an
hour.
hour.
Got to keep it under an hour.
Because I want to be a good Papa Team 6 member. Do you want me to run through it just like really quick?
Dad loss?
No, like run through the day.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I can just run through it super quick.
Fleeting. Yes,
no,
dude,
you're
run
fine.
Through it, man.
Huge shout out to everybody that reached out. That'll be my what are the odds this week. But going into the day was incredible. Jill's a nurse. She is always prepared for the worst because she knows what the worst can be, and we know that every single birthing experience is different. Every delivery experience is different. We've got to hear about Will's 48-hour scenario.
48-hour labor.
With Sweet Charles sitting at 4 centimeters.
Buddy,
and
when you texted me and said, we're at 4 centimeters right now.
I texted Will because let's skip to that. I'll skip to that point. We fall asleep. We both fell asleep the very first night. So we get in there. I was blessed with a recliner chair.
You son of a bitch.
I know.
Dude. You had a recliner?
I didn't even want to say it.
Are you even a Papa Seal?
If
you didn't sleep on the couch?
If you have your master's in Papa Team 6, I am quite literally freshman year of my undergrad in Papa Team 6.
We need to make something where you can put like the little patches.
Oh, yeah.
And
dude.
so you almost know, like, he experienced the couch.
You're a 5-star general.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah,
you ain't gonna get that patch.
No, I'm a private. I'm a buck private in Papa Team 6, and I'm sitting in
you
my.
To skip the line. You get a recliner. Hey, let me say this. Good for you. I am happy for you. I am a little envious.
Yeah.
I know a lot of dads out there swinging at the air right now, pounding on their steering wheel.
Oh yeah.
You didn't have to sleep on a couch.
I sent it to the boys in I have a college group chat. Shout out Mike Evans. They'll know what that means. But I sent that picture of the recliner. I'm sure some of those dads in there. What the fuck?
Fuck this.
Of course,
it's almost
Sherman
like that's
that.
how you earn your stripes.
Oh yeah. Now that was the delivery room. I will say, post delivery room, no recliner. Couch was terrible. But
how long were you in this post delivery room?
Oh, a full day into the night, and then another full day to about 7 p.m. So
you slept on the couch.
Slept on the couch.
Are you lying to me?
Not lying to you.
Are you lying to me?
I'm not lying to you. I can call Jill if I need to.
You slept on the couch.
She might tell you that I slept too much on the couch.
Okay, all right.
She might tell you I slept too much on the couch.
Buddy, anytime we FaceTime, you look vibrant.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
We had what did somebody?
They said
somebody on here. Yeah, Sean was like 12 hours is insane. You talking about how you slept 12 hours last week? My 9-month-old boy is teething right now, and we woke up 6 times last night. It's all part of it. Hope everything goes well, Sherm.
Oh yeah.
Hey, let you know, Sean. It sounds like everything went very well for our boy.
Yeah,
for our boy Sherm.
Sherm's doing great. Sherm's
Did you
doing
mention
great.
you got a mani pedi while you were in the?
I did. We had the Roku stick. Huge dad hack. We brought the Roku stick in there so we could stream.
Smart.
It was incredible. We got Tommy Boy rolling on the TV. Jill had never seen Tommy Boy. Shout out Tommy Boy.
Nice.
But Jill's overall note was, I want to have fun and keep the mood light going into labor. That is my only assignment to you, Sherman, is I want to keep it light. And I don't know if people that follow me on Twitter, Instagram saw that college football hype video style. I put it to Skrilla.
Oh, buddy, it was awesome. I loved watching it.
Made that hype video. I didn't show it to her right before delivery, as I'm sure people that saw that were reading it and going, this fucking
My
psycho.
question I have is, was she the one filming you?
She wanted to, yeah. She wanted to film me.
Okay.
So that shot
when you're sitting there in your headphones and going, I'm like laughing to myself, thinking, are they at the hospital right now? And Sherm's like, hey, Jilly Bean, you mind just hitting a little recording for me as I just kind of sit with my headphones on?
There's 4 people in the waiting room watching it go down too, and they're probably looking at us like, these fucking idiots.
Hey, just a quick timeout. Are people hearing this?
I would assume they hear the rain, but not to the degree that would be like...
It's pretty loud.
Right now it is. Right now it is. But even with the AC that was like running in the back, oh, it just got even louder.
I know.
We might want to wait for it to die down just a little bit, or we can press on. Take 5?
We can take 5, but we got to keep it under an hour.
Fuck.
We interrupt this episode. Make sure you're subscribed to the podcast. Just another reminder for the dads out there. But we interrupt this episode because we are sponsored by Roe, fellas. Are you ever sitting there some late night? Maybe you're in bed. Maybe you got the sleep mask on, and your wife, she starts feeling on your leg a little bit, and you're just thinking to yourself, or maybe you're watching a movie on the couch, and she starts nestling a little close, and you're thinking, is this going to happen tonight? And do I got it in me? There's no more worrying about that, boys. Why? Because of Roe Sparks. Roe Sparks are a 2-in-1 prescription treatment for guys who need a secret weapon against softness. Roe Sparks can give guys bigger, thicker, longer erections because they get fuller faster. After Roe Sparks dissolves, they work in 15 minutes on average, and if prescribed, new sexual health patients get $15 off their first order of Sparks on a recurring plan. Connect with a provider at ro.co/dads to find out if prescription Roe Sparks are right for you. That is ro.co/dads for $15 off your first order. Compounded drugs are permitted to be prescribed under federal law but are not FDA approved and do not undergo FDA safety, effectiveness, or manufacturing review. For full safety information, go to ro.co/safety-info. All right, we're back. Sorry for the quick interruption. It was, as a dad would say, it was raining cats and dogs outside. It's raining cats and dogs outside. If you see, I got some rain on me right now, but we had to adapt. We had to improvise. We had to overcome. As is parenting.
Yes. Welcome to For the Dad's new studio.
Yeah. We had to just get on the bus because it helps with the sound. As the rain was getting so loud, I don't know if you guys were hearing it in your audio, but it gets so loud, Sherm's voice gets a little bit more faint. So we had to make a pivot. We had to make a call because we got to keep this under an hour.
We got to keep it under an hour.
We got to keep it under an hour.
I told Jill 2:30. It's 1:43.
Yeah, we'll keep it.
We'll keep it under an hour.
And if not, I don't want to talk hypotheticals. I don't want to talk hypotheticals.
Honey, I love you. I'm going to make it to that.
But if you're home at 2:37,
that's fine.
It's a dad loss.
Dad loss.
Good for the show.
Great for the show.
But we had to make a change. So we're in a different studio right now. We're on the Bussin With The Boys studio. I appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. But sometimes you gotta adapt when the environment, the elements get to you.
Yeah.
We got some elements. Sometimes you're going to want to be at a pool thinking you're going to be at the pool for about 4 hours, and it's going to cut short and go to 2 because someone's losing their mind. I'm talking to you, Rue. But carry on with your story. I kind of forgot where we were, but I did have a what are the odds.
Oh, you have a what are?
I had a what are the odds.
I like that.
I had a what are the odds. Shout out the partner FanDuel in the background. But I had a what are the odds. What are the odds that Jill stayed at Fort? We got somebody coming in.
Oh, is that Mitch?
No, it's Matt. Yeah, we're recording.
Hey, shout out Matt. Intern Matt.
What are the odds that Jill sat at 4 centimeters over under an hour? What are the odds that you had an incredibly smooth delivery, one that a lot of parents would be jealous of?
One that people legitimately would get angry about. like when I FaceTimed you yesterday and you were checking in on the fam and
Yeah.
how'd it go, blah blah blah, like a part of me, it hurt a part of me to tell you how our experience went.
Because it was so good.
It was
Which
so
is
good.
what everybody wants.
Which is what everybody
if
wants.
you have an experience like I'm thinking like mine, like who knows how it's going to go in there, then you hear how great everything was. If anything, as a dad, I don't want to tell Charo how smooth it went.
Yeah.
Because she's going to be, I'm just kidding. She's going to be so pissed off.
But truly, I mean, for some of these moms and stuff, like they get there too late. They don't get their epidural.
But everybody hopes for the delivery you're about to tell us about.
Of course. And Jill, I mean, absolutely kills it. One of my favorite moments I'll never forget is we both fall asleep. Jill, though, is like sleeping in hour intervals or like an hour 30 interval because nurse is coming in and checking her.
Yeah.
Because they gave her the induction in the mouth. And I forget the name of that pill, but that's not the Pitocin.
Pitocin?
That's not it's the one before Pitocin.
Pre-Pitocin pill.
Pre-Pitocin pill. So they give her pre-Pitocin pill. It didn't really do anything. So during the middle of the night, while I'm snoozing on recliner being dad of the year, hey,
sweetheart, I just edited up this video. You did a great job. I'm gonna pass out.
Which is literally what I did.
You good over there? You mind if I get some? You mind if I get some shut eye? You're doing great. I'm tired.
I'm in the recliner doing this. I'm going like this here in the bed. I'm holding her hand. I like truly was so comfy, dude. It's kind of insane how well it was.
And this
set
is
up.
you in the recliner.
Yes. This is me in a recliner with Jill brought these like silk pillows and I have a Barefoot Dreams blanket. Like,
I'll tell you what, like your survival kit was ready to go.
Because of Jilly Bean. I mean, Jill was so freaking dialed, dude. And when we have more time, I want to do a full survival kit breakdown to everybody because it looked like we were going on a 2-week vacation with those bags that we were bringing in. We used every single thing we brought. And I swear to God we did. Because the luggage, it may look like that was all clothes. It was really like a ton of gear. Burp cloths, diapers. What is it called? A preemie diaper. Because Scarlett was tiny. 5 pounds, 7 ounces when she came out. 5 pounds, 7 ounces. She's smaller than a baby doll. And so we're having to use the preemie diapers and all this stuff. But we'll do that another time. And like, that could even be a great, like, if Jill wanted to do a call-in or something of going through a survival kit.
We need to have the wives on.
Yeah,
people calling for it. It's going to happen.
Yeah, Jill's survival kit was nutso, dude. And so, like, we really were set up for the absolute worst that, thank God, never happened. And so, my favorite moment was waking up at, like, 6 a.m., and it was truly like the scene in Saving Private Ryan where he loses his hearing on the beach and that guy's and says, "What do we do now, sir?" Jill's like over me. Netflix says, "Are you still watching?" Blah, 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 like on the screen. And she's like, "Honey, I'm contracting." Yeah. And I get out of the recliner. She's doing the. So what, unbeknownst to me in the middle of the night, that thing that they put in her mouth, they then did it in the downstairs later that night to see how that would go. Well, she went from she showed up 2 centimeters dilated. And for the dads at home, that's just the cervix, which is kind of the gate that the baby has to go through to enter into the opening where the baby's going to come out. So she shows up at a 2. That little thing that they inserted got her to a 4. Nurse comes in, checks her. She's at 4 centimeters. In my head, I go, oh, fuck. Because we have a family friend that's sat at 4 centimeters as well for a long time. Not as long as Charo, but a long time. So I hear 4 centimeters. I think of you and I think of our family friend. I text you and I say, we're at 4 centimeters. And in my head, it's like, we're at 4 centimeters. We're at 4 centimeters. And I'm just like, oh no, that like,
this is the trigger number.
Oh, please, please, please. So then they hit her with the Pitocin. We go about 3 or 4 hours. All of a sudden, Jill is like, I really feel pressure. Like, Sherman, I feel pressure. And it feels like I need to poop. And they say that if you feel like you need to poop, you're going to have your baby. And so she tells nurse, it's only been 3 hours since the Pitocin. So nurse is kind of like, we'll get the midwives in here in a little bit. We'll have them check you. And then she kind of stopped and she looked at Jill and she was like, how much pressure? And Jill was like, a lot of pressure. Well, she gets her flashlight out, goes underneath the hood, goes, we'll get the midwives. Midwives come in, they go fully dilated. She went from 4 to 10 in 3 hours.
Oh my god.
4 to 10 centimeters in 3 hours.
The White Walkers were at the wall.
At the wall. And this watcher on the wall was having to get in the zone in that moment. It was like everything stops. And thankfully, Jill had kind of like trained me and put me through the ringer to know what to expect. So,
did you have your coffee?
No, didn't have coffee the entire time I was there. But the one thing that I forgot to say, dude, is Jill was like, I want to feel some of the contractions before I get the epidural. But Sherman, it's your job. Make sure that I get on that epidural. I don't want to miss it, blah, blah, blah. When she was sitting at 4 and like contracting really hard, like before they came in to say she was at 10, she's like, I don't know, should I get on the epidural? Should I not? I'm like, in my head, like Rocky 2 or Rocky 4, throwing the damn towel. Like I'm sitting there going, take the epidural right now. Why are we waiting? She's like, I want to finish my yogurt because I can't eat after I have epidural.
That's right. That's what he texted.
I got the yogurt. I'm force feeding her yogurt. I'm like, finish this freaking yogurt because you like, girl, you got to get the epidural. We get the epidural. They come in. She's at a 10. We got to start pushing. Right before we're about to push, they're like, hey, we don't have an OR room open for Jill in case things go south. So we have to suspend pushing as long as we can, Jill, until an OR room, an operating room, opens up in case things go south. In the meantime, would you want anesthesiologists to come in and give you another hit? Because it seems like you have a lot of discomfort. Jill is like, yes, that was the biggest blessing in disguise. They came in, dude, and mainlined some stuff into Jill. And Jill gives me that look after 15 minutes of getting mainlined with whatever they put in that cocktail. She's like, I'm ready to push. I feel good. Like, I'm ready to go. And they came in. They tell her, hey, you're going to do 3 pushes per round. It looks like this. Dad, you're going to hold feet. The other nurse is going to hold the other foot.
You're holding feet, so you're south of the wall.
I was a watcher on the wall. I was able to see south of the wall where the White Walkers were coming, and I was, north of the wall where the White Walkers are coming, and south of the wall. So I was able to see both, concentrating on Jill, but also like interested in seeing what's going on down there because midwife was like, Dad, if you want to look, baby's head is literally right there. That was before we even started pushing. And it's because little Scarlett is so small, dude. She just
positioned well.
She knew her role. She was like, I'm ready. Yeah. We're doing this right now. I've never been more proud of Jill. Jill was such a gangster, dude. Like such a stud during the pushing. She did 4 rounds of 3 pushes. And each time, like on the 3rd push, I'd be like, there's not a shot in hell she's going to give it what she did the first 2. The 3rd one would always be the strongest. Scarlett would move the most on the 3rd one. You would hear the midwives go, good, there it is. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, Jill's a beast, dude. She just covered in sweat. And each time just taking the biggest breaths and just bearing down. I was like, God, I'm so proud of her. Like, she's freaking killing it. And then on the 4th round of pushes, Scarlett came out on the 3rd round. Midwife looks at her right before we start the 4th round of pushes and looks at Jill and goes, hey, it's a really cool moment for moms that I can get her out very easily. I'm not worried. I'm going to get her to her torso and you can reach down and physically pull her up if you want to do that. Are you interested in that, Jill? And Jill was like, yeah, I want to do that. She was like, okay, when I tell you, you reach down, you'll grab her and you just bring her to your chest. And on that 3rd push, they got Scarlett out to her torso. She was holding her umbilical cord like Batman doing his, little gun. She comes out like this and Jill just reached down there and grabbed Scarlett and brought her to her chest. It was unreal.
Dude, that is incredible.
I'm looking at my wife like, who are you? Like, that's so sick.
Isn't it wild seeing your wife go through that?
Yes. And I told her, like, beforehand, I don't know, because I don't know childbirth, but I'm like, if there's anybody that can do it, it's you. Like, she's such a pusher. She's such a grinder. She, like, She just has that mentality, but she also has a lot of fearfulness and anxiety.
Yeah.
And beforehand, I was like, if anybody's got it, it's you. You're going to destroy this. And then to see her go out on the field and perform like you think she's going to.
Make a coach proud.
Make a coach proud, dude. And then that moment with Scarlett, man. I can send you some pictures, Chef, if you want to put it on the episode, dude. I'm Waterworks, obviously. Y'all saw me last week. Dude, it was amazing. It was amazing.
That's incredible, bro.
And
I'm pumped for you, man.
yeah, and I hope that on like everybody that has a delivery coming up, expecting fathers and stuff, you wish that on everybody. But we were blessed enough to have that, and it was awesome.
Any lapses on your part? Any dad losses?
I actually have a dad loss, but it's a motherfucked this week.
Oh,
Do you have a dad loss?
I do have a dad loss.
Do you want to go first, or I can do my motherfuck?
Yeah, so my dad loss this week is going to go to a dad loss that I took. I lost control of myself, losing control of Rue.
Oh no.
Yeah, so we got back from our 4th of July, weekend. We got back on Saturday, and we went to the pool on Sunday. And we were expecting we got there early, so that way we had a good little spot, good little setup, and we were going to enjoy a little pool day. And we're hoping to be there probably around 4 hours, and it got cut short 2.5 hours because Rue ended up losing her mind, throwing a tantrum. And it was one of those ones where she was throwing a tantrum, and it was like, all right, I told her, I'm like, hey, if you don't stop doing this, I'm going to have to take you somewhere else. We're going to have to leave the pool and walk somewhere until you can calm down.
Oh no.
Because she was very particular. It's like, you have a 3-year-old and their brains, their vocabulary is growing. They're understanding a lot more, but they're also limited in how they can like verbally communicate. So they're just dealing with big emotions on how to communicate perfectly, because she's very particular.
Yeah.
And we were like playing this game in the pool where, she had this crab, and she wanted to either drop the crab down underwater and go down and get it by herself, but she couldn't do it by herself. So I'm like, do you want that to help you? No, I can do it by myself. And I'm like, okay, do it by yourself. No, I can't. And so you're just caught in this argument of like, what do you want?
Yeah.
Like Notebook, what do you want?
Rue.
Yeah, what do you want, Rue? Like you have to, you're telling me you don't want help, but I'm like, okay, you go ahead and do it. I can't do it by myself. Okay, well then you need me. What do you need me to do? And we're kind of caught in this back and forth. So I figure out all right, we're going to have to get out of the pool. Go and remove her from the situation, remove her from the environment. She's having a tantrum. You can't communicate well when they're having a tantrum. So you're just trying to like be there for them so that way they can calm down.
You're getting her to the sideline. You're showing her tape.
Yeah, and these tantrums, bro, I'm talking fucking insane.
Oh no.
It's like I hate to be like the dad. Oh, you'll see one day, but it's like, bro,
No.
they're like shaking, they're stiffening their bodies up. Like I try to pick them up, and I'm trying to like hug her and trying to force hug her and let her know to calm down, and she's just like full stiff, like screaming.
Is she screaming?
Yeah. She's like, I want mama. And I'm like, I'll take you to mama if you can just calm down just a little bit. We'll go over to mama because, they're out. We're in public. So you feel like you're getting the looks. You feel like you're getting all these things.
Yeah.
I'm probably in my own head about it a little bit. I'll take you back over to mama when you can calm down. And she's fucking screaming like, mama, see mama. Like this, that, the other. Rue, you have to calm down,
like
sweetheart.
she wants to see mama.
Yeah, you're going to work yourself up. It's going to hurt. You're trying to like say all these things to her, try to get her to calm down. And I'm standing there and she's just like sitting down in the corner. And she continues to scream, and I lost it, bro.
No!
I lost it.
What'd you do?
There's like a demonic part of my soul started to fill up. I was getting so angry inside, and I was trying to stay calm. I was trying to stay collected.
She saw that NCAA impact player at Nebraska.
Yeah. And I was like, for people watching, they can just see my face. They probably know what I'm talking about too. And I just reached down there. Like it's like I'm sitting there. I'm thinking about all the times my dad would just spank me, and I'm thinking I'm not gonna spank her. And I just grab her. I'm like, Rue, hey, we're gonna go to mama. We are gonna go to mom right now. And she's like looking away. I'm like, look at me. And she's like looking away, and I grab her by the face and look over. I'm like, look at me. I'm going to take you to mom, but you better stop right now because this is bullshit. And she's, I have her face grabbed looking at me. And she's trying to like calm down because she's like hyperventilating.
Yeah.
So she's not really making noise anymore. She's just kind of like breathing. And I like take her. She's got her goggles on, her little rainbow goggles. And I like rip her rainbow goggles off. And you just like grab them and pick them up and you're like whipping them around on your body. You're like, I'm going to take you to mom, but you are going to calm down as I walk over here.
You're not hurting her, but you're also showing her, hey, Dada's got some strength.
Yeah,
you want to play with Dada's?
Yeah. It got to a point to where like, all right, we're this whole I'm gonna be calm and we're gonna play. I'm gonna be nice and be this parent that you're just gonna stay poised and you're gonna just gonna sit there with them and be there with them. No, that turned off. My heart turned black.
So far this kind of sounds like a win.
I know the part where you feel like it's a dad loss is you feel bad about it when you're driving home. Or I'm like thinking about it all day. Because I got down there, I got on her level, and I grabbed her face, and I put it over to mine. I'm like, look at me. You're gonna stop this shit right now. And picked her up, like grabbed her goggles, ripped it off of her head, and I'm like marching over to my wife, and I can just hear her hyperventilation, her like little breaths, and that's what makes me feel bad. Is I'm like, I'm sure I shocked her in the moment, which it's like she needed that. In my brain, I'm like, hey,
she did.
That's what the moment calls for. That's what you had to do. I had to stop the bleeding. I walk over there and I just like kind of toss her down on the chair.
Here's your daughter.
Yeah. She wants you.
She wants to talk to you.
She wants you. I can't do this right now.
Yeah.
I like go and take a walk. And we have to leave because she works herself back up again. And we're just like, hey.
Really?
We're like, hey, we're leaving. We're not doing this. She's got to know that she cannot act this way. She cannot behave this way. We are leaving.
Yeah.
And so we ended up going home and everything else. And I was so upset. We were both, Charles and I both. We were both upset. We both did a little bit of yelling. You're just disappointed.
At y'all or her?
At her. Like we're getting in and she's still like worked up. Charles snaps at her.
So Charles on your side in this moment.
Yeah, because she's
well of
she's
how
acting
you
insane.
But of how you handled it.
Yeah. She didn't mind it. She didn't mind how I handled it. We talked later and we were kind of like laughing about it. And I was like, hey, I gotta tell you, like I went down, I got on her level and I grabbed her by the face and like jerked it over to mine.
Oh yeah.
And it's like I wanted to tattoo her ass, bro.
Oh yeah.
And
dude, I think you did a great job in that moment of expressing. It's like those TikToks of like the parents that try to exhibit that, like, I know you're feeling bad right now, but how can I help you in this situation as you're having a tantrum?
Yeah.
Can't do that.
Yeah. No, you're right.
It called for it.
Yeah, it called for it. It's just like, it's like you're thinking about it the rest of the day because when I'm reacting, I'm not doing it as like a predetermined, this is the right move to do. I'm like losing all my emotion to where I'm like physically like grabbing her and jerking her around and turning her face, ripping her goggles off. And I'm like I'm just like thinking back to I'm like, man, I lost full composure because I was fucking pissed off. I know that's going to happen, but that's like my dad, because it's funny because your little boy, your little girl, whatever it is, they're like the only being in the world where you can be so fucking mad. I'm talking so fucking mad to where you will stay mad at him. Like I wasn't cool with Rue for a good couple hours, or a good hour, to where it's like, hey, no, if you want to apologize to us, you're not going to do it sitting on the couch over there and just say, I'm sorry for acting that way. No, you're going to walk over to me and you're going to look at me.
You told her that?
Yeah. You're going to say sorry to me, and you're also going to walk over and you're going to look at your mom and you're going to say sorry to mom.
How'd
you're
she
going to
do?
give us both hugs. She did good. She did it. And it's like, and then later on, I had to get a sweat in. Charles knew I kind of needed a moment. She's like, hey, I'm going to go take Rue to the grocery store.
Yeah.
You do whatever you got to do. So I kind of had an hour to like decompress and everything else.
Yeah.
And what I was going to say is like this little human, they're the only beings in the world that you can be so fucking mad at. But the minute she gets home and I'm upstairs and I hear from downstairs like, Dad, where are you? Dad. Look, come look at this. Come look at this. And you like have a smile on your face because you're like excited to see them again. And you're just like, well, their brains just move on because they're dealing with they're dealing with all their big emotions. And I'm kind of, You know, you kind of go from all the way at 100 to where it's just completely gone when they come home and like, Dad, come yook. Dad, where are you? And you're just like, oh, sweetheart, it's good to see you.
You don't stand a chance.
So,
in a good way. In
yeah.
a good way.
I chalked it up as a dad loss. Now talking through it and talking to you now, you've made me feel better about what my decisions and actions were.
Good.
But I just felt like it got to that moment to where all this what do you need from me bullshit was out the fucking door.
Yeah.
Hard had to turn black.
Dude,
Papa Seal had to go in full effect in the trenches.
100%, dude. And like for my dad, I feel like had a very healthy dose of discipline with my brother and I have an older brother of 4 years. Shout out Jordan. Very healthy discipline. It was never too much or anything like that. Healthy relationship with dad growing up. But all mom had to say sometimes was, you wait till your dad gets home from work.
Yeah.
And bro, that's all
I had. That was my kind of, I mean, he would tan my ass, bro.
Oh yeah. It got to the point where that's all she had to do. I'm up in my room bawling. And then I hear the garage door open. I'm cooked.
Yeah.
What the hell was I thinking?
Yeah.
And so like, I think not that you like showed force, but like you showed her that, hey, if you get to a level like dad has, it might be your favorite person, but he is not cool with that kind of behavior.
Yeah, I strongly believe it's like they have to understand there's going to be consequences.
Yeah.
I think everybody agrees with that.
100%. And she never
like, we're not going to sit here at the pool. We're not going to stay until this is all kumbaya, and then you're going to go back in the pool and we're going to have fun. Because then, to me, in my brain, I'm thinking we're just enabling
100%.
what that behavior was until you got what you wanted.
Yeah.
Because once you started working back in, like Charlie and I, we were both wanting a pool day. Like, I'm wanting to sit out there and catch some rays. I'm honestly pissed that we're having to leave, but I'm like, we have to leave because she has to know that this shit is not all right.
Yeah.
Because Scotty was being great, and again, the vibes were good, and it was, man, we wanted a good pool day.
That's the dad loss in it all.
Yeah, it's just that's like the dad loss. Losing out on a good pool day. Yeah, that's the dad loss.
That's the dad loss.
That's the dad loss.
You need a good pool day.
Yeah.
And I love that, like, she didn't get what she wanted in the moment / didn't get the residuals of that moment. Because she's getting to the age where she realizes mamas and dadas wanted to be at the pool too, and I'm guessing family friends were there, right? Was this?
No, it was just us. We just did.
This was in Nashville.
We got back into Nashville on Saturday.
Oh, sorry.
We went on Sunday morning.
Yeah. Okay, cool. But I mean, still a fun time. She knows mamas and dadas want to have a fun time at the pool too.
No, talking this out, you're right. You're right. The loss was not having a full pool day for the fam.
Okay, good.
Was the parents not having a pool day?
Good.
Because you're right.
As you were going through that, I'm kind of
grab
like,
him by the face, guys.
I was waiting for like the spanking or whatever, and when it never happened,
more of like you feel. It's more of like
win.
You beat yourself up when you fucking like I like lost myself. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Even though it's like talking through it, like, hey, that's what the moment might have needed, or that's how I'm justifying in my head.
Yeah,
could be right, could be wrong, whatever. It's like I'm thinking back, like I lost full composure of myself because I got so fucking.
And I know that I'm speaking way out of turn. We just said I'm a buck private for Papa Team 6, but I know for a fact that Papa Team 6 doesn't sit in that helicopter with a little air horn calling down, going, "Hey, you better stop that! Don't do that!"
Yeah,
that helicopter's landing. Ropes are coming down. We're descending, and we're getting in the shit. We're getting in the firefight.
Yeah.
If you're Papa Team 6.
Yeah, this was a moment where I wanted to waterboard.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. You might think it. You didn't do it.
Yeah, I thought it. I didn't do it.
Hey,
I wanted to.
Can't get arrested for thinking about it.
What was we got to keep this under an hour.
We have to.
It's 2:08.
We have 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotta keep it under an hour.
My motherfucked is actually really quick this week, which will help. Left Scarlett this morning unattended for 5 seconds on the changing table. And
what'd you have to do? What was the situation?
I was changing her, and I didn't have the right diapers. We have the newborn diapers, and like we talked about earlier, Scarlett is quite literally the size of a peanut, so we're having to use preemie diapers right now. Or else you're having to use the actual newborn diapers, and you're rolling those suckers over like 3 times.
Yeah.
Just to get it to where like it's fitting on her. So I go, oh, the preemies are on the kitchen counter. And her nursery is right there. I mean, I could get there in 8 steps max. So I'm like, oh, I'll go grab it. Just not even thinking like she's on the changing table. It's the it's shaped like
Yep.
U-shaped. It would take a lot for her to roll off in my dad brain. I'm like, man, she's good to go. I gotta get to work. I gotta get her changed. And so I left the room, and Jill goes, "What do you need?" I go, "I need the preemie." And then she sees that I have no baby in hand. She goes, "Where is she?" And I go, she's on the changing table. Full sprint. And like, we have hardwood floors. I mean, it sounded like the mama bear was charging. And she held back on me. I thank her for holding back on me. I did when Chef heard me.
You tell me you didn't say, "Sweetheart, they can't roll."
Oh no! Oh, I
Yeah, you got to zip it up.
I knew I fucked up real quick.
Because that's just a motherfucked moment with the wife. I wouldn't necessarily. It's like, you went and you grabbed the preemie diaper. It's like, they're really not going to go anywhere. And it's a few seconds. But we're not going to say that. Matter of fact, if you're listening right now, Jilly Bean, you do not hear us say,
no,
baby's not going nowhere in 5 seconds.
No. And also, if Jill and Charo had their own podcast, that's like Jill's dad loss, essentially. It's like, what the fuck was Sherman thinking? Like, why did you think that was okay? Which I understand that now. And Chef heard me on a phone call with Jill before we started recording. You heard a lot of yes ma'ams in that phone conversation, I'm sure. A lot of yes ma'ams.
Yeah, you got to be dialed right now.
I'm not in the doghouse, but let's just keep this thing under an hour.
These are moments you're just going to have to take in and accept and absorb.
Yeah.
Whether right, wrong, indifferent.
Oh, yeah. Did not fight her. Honey, I am so sorry.
Yeah.
Honey, I really am so sorry. What I also didn't know, this is kind of a dad loss too. I do have a dad loss. I have been waking up at the feeding time. So I had a 2:30 feeding time, a 5:30 feeding time last night.
Yeah.
I woke up at the feeding times unbeknownst to Jill. So I really wasn't feeding her until like 3:30, 6:30.
You got to get the ball. You got to get it ready.
Yes. And get her changed and stuff, like piss her off before
Yeah.
you feed her. So then she's like awake and, ready to feed. And so Jill realized that this morning because I had a 7:00 feeding time, and she walks in there and it's, like 7:45, 8. And she's like, "Are you just now feeding her?" I was like, "Yeah." Like, so proud in that moment. Yes, honey, I'm feeding her. And she's taking it down. She already got 1 ounce down. She's only got another ounce to go. And I could tell, and just so much rage in her mind. She did a great job of just in that moment stopping and communicating. You need to be waking up at least 45 minutes before the
45?
Oh yeah, 30 to 45 minutes before the feeding time, because she needs to be changed and bottle in mouth by feeding time. Because like y'all know, it takes me a while to get out of bed. So 45 minutes, she's going off Sherman's time.
Yeah.
She was like, that bottle needs to be in mouth at feeding time.
This is where you harness, for the dads out there listening, you harness these motherfucked moments.
Yeah.
And these are nice little conversations and chemistry builders with your little one.
Yeah.
Hey, mama didn't like that I left you for 5 seconds. We're going to keep the secret between us that you're going to be okay. I know you know that. I know that.
You're not rolling?
Yeah. She's doing a great job. She went through a lot. There's a lot going on that she can't control. We're just going to keep this between us. I knew you were good. You knew I was good. You knew I was going to be back quick in 10 seconds.
Hey, those 20 different babies that came into her hospital when she was a nurse that had skull fractures because this exact thing happened. I know you're not going to do that.
I know you're not going to get a skull fracture.
What? Come on. And she's telling me that very calmly.
Yeah.
Very sweetly. Honey, I have seen over 10 cases of this myself. You cannot do that. Okay. Yes, ma'am. I'm so sorry. I did not know that.
You handled it great.
Yeah.
You handled it great.
And what stunk, dude? Can I segue that into my crack a cold one?
Before we get to the crack a cold one segment, we are sponsored by this segment. Is sponsored by Bud Light. We know how people would do anything for a Bud Light, and just those moments made easy. That's what we crack a cold one to. Bud Light is the official sponsor of this crack a cold one segment on For the Dads, the NFL Draft, Tight End U, the UFC, and Shane Gillis' 2025 tour. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy, and it Bud Light is always brewed with 4 simple ingredients for a clean, crisp taste. Stock up now on Bud Light. Head to budlight.com/locator to find a store near you. Let's get back to the episode and what we will crack a cold one to.
Yeah, crack a cold one.
Okay. To segue into my crack a cold one, Jill has got me fully dialed on feeding. Like, I feel good, dude. And I know it's a day-to-day thing. People are probably listening. They're going, Sherman thinks he's got it all figured out. But, like, I got to find the wins where I can find them. And I was so freaking nervous and scared about diaper changes, feeding and stuff. And Jill has me like a well-oiled machine. I'm just going off her playbook.
Yeah.
And I love that all the feeding techniques are named after football terminology. You have football.
3 points of contact.
You have sideline.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can roll with this.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to go with football. I'll do football. And they're like, all you got to do is piss her off, change her her tires, her diapers, get her pissed, turn all the lights on.
Wake their ass up.
Wake their ass up. Take the onesie off. Let them sit there a little bit on the changing table. Let them get cold.
Yeah.
They start doing the.
Yeah, they're trying to spaz.
And then as soon as I see that mouth go, I get her in football and bottle in mouth, dude. And she's got a really good suck. Even the nurses were like, weird terminology, but the nurses were like, yo.
You got an eater.
I got an eater, dude. She is a peanut, but boy, she likes foodies.
That's good. That's good.
Killing
Because like you're saying, it'll change and you got to find the wins where you can find them. But it's better to be absolutely dialed every step of the way. So that way, when you get a little off track or something happens or something changes or she starts to get a little pissed off or adversity is going to strike.
Yeah.
You're going to be so dialed in on step 1 that, hey, you'll be ready to learn step 2.
Yes.
You'll be ready to roll with the punches.
We'll be ready to roll with the punches. So that 5:30 feeding, that's my crack a cold when we got Bud Lights here. Shout out Bud Light for
sponsoring the podcast. Yeah, my crack a cold one's going to go to, speaking of cracking a cold one and drinking a lot of Bud Lights and some neutrals, the 4th of July party. I think there was a moment where we're all sitting around and I made the comment like this, the party now looks a lot different than it did a few years ago. Because a few years ago, it's like you're not married. Maybe somebody has a young kid or like a newborn or something. But other than that, some of the friends that we have, it's like their kids are like in high school and we're all these not married men, still boys, like introducing our wives or girlfriends or whatever it is. And now years later, we're sitting there and I'm looking around and you got one of the boys that were in high school. He's graduated high school. I got 2 kids of my own. My best friend, Nick and Chuck, they got 2 kids of their own. Like we have all these little kids. We have all these babies.
That's so sick.
Adam Feudal, shout out the boy Adam, who is our, host at the St. Louis Cardinals.
Oh yeah.
He's with the Cardinals, but he's got 4 kids. And his like 8 or 9-year-old McKinley, she's helping out. You got people like Scotty sleeping on Caitlin, my brother's girlfriend. It's more of like this tribal mentality. We're having this party and I'm sitting around looking at and mentioning to Kenny and to everybody like how different this party looks now that we all have families and we all have kids, because there's a water slide up now. Like the annual cornhole party still happens.
And where do y'all host this again?
At Kenny's house. Shout out the boy Kenny Farkas. But we go to his spot.
He's got a spot, dude.
Yeah, he's got a great setup. He's got a garage to where you can have the cornhole tournament out there in the gravel. We got the backyard set up to where there's tents because we've learned how hot it gets every year.
Yep.
You need more tents. There's tents
the tailgate
everywhere.
tents.
Yeah, tailgate tents.
Yeah,
There's big fans because you know that there's going to be kiddos and little children because you're wanting, the parents to stick around as long as we can until it's bedtime. And it's just one of those moments to where you just crack a cold one to the moment because you're looking around and you see all your friends to where there's new families. There's the friends of ours that has their kids and they're graduating. They're later in high school. You got some kids that are helping out with the other kids. Everybody's kind of lending a helping hand knowing that everybody's got kids now. And you're kind of just sitting there with your boys that you grew up with, that you're having all these, whether it's barbecues or whatever to celebrate. Us graduating high school, us going off to college, us graduating college.
Yeah.
And now we're at the point to where we're all sitting there with our families. And even though it only happens once a year, it's like you're cherishing those moments because you don't know how many times you get to see all your friends and all your close ones in the same spot with each other, with the kiddos around the same age. And they're making friends, and you hope it continues to be something where we get with each other more than just once a year.
Yeah.
So you just know, like, Rue, hey, we're going back to Missouri. We're going to have a 4th of July party. And she knows she's going to go back and see Hudson, Grady, Chip, all of them, dude.
I think this will make that even better for you. Not to make it about myself, but I grew up with a very similar situation. Shout out Possum Kingdom Lake for all the 817ers and 214s in the DFW area. We'd go to the same lake house. I would see my same favorite friends, Natalie and Emily. We'd stay at their lake house. And dude, I'm telling you, 4th of July is my favorite holiday because of that. But I mean, we did it for like almost 10 years straight.
Yeah,
and so
man,
Rue
fires me up.
Yeah, Rue and Scotty are going to appreciate that.
Like a tradition to just look forward to. Even if, you know, you get the once a year to get around. Dude. Everybody.
That's gonna mean a ton to them when they get older.
Yeah, but crack a cold one to those moments.
Yeah,
crack a cold one to those moments, man. Because we're all grown. We're all in the parenthood. We're all in Papa Team 6 together.
We are. Do you mind, not to put Jill on the spot, but do you mind if I call her and see if I can't get
10 extra minutes?
10 extra minutes.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. Papa Team 6. This is an example when you are up against the clock, and we've all been there. We've all been there with our boys. And you know the time's going to probably get pushed a little bit, and you're trying to do some damage control. So postpartum mother, a few days postpartum. Sherman's making the call right now. He's dropping in with some night vision.
Hey, honey, how did the chairs go?
Oh, I don't know. They haven't come yet.
Oh, okay. So I'm calling on the podcast because I'm looking at the clock right now. It's 2:20.
You got it, Papa Seal.
I just wanted to confirm, what time did you want me home by?
2:30.
2:30. Is there any way that could be closer to 2:45, 2:50 if we're almost done?
Yes. Let's do 2:45.
Is 2:45 okay?
Yes, we're just gonna. I just want to have extra time because it's raining and it's our first appointment, so I just don't really know where to go, and we're gonna have to sign papers. So
absolutely,
she's right.
That's like the absolute max.
Absolute max 2:45. I love you. Thank you. Will wants to say hi really quick.
You're a saint, Jelly Bean. You're a saint. You are a saint, and we love you so much, and we are so happy you're doing well.
Oh, thank you guys. We're so appreciative of you, Will. So whatever y'all need to do is fine by me.
Oh, Jill, you are the best. Thank you, sweetheart.
We love you. You are my priority, and I love you so much, and I cannot wait to see you.
Okay. I'll see you soon.
All right, 2:45. Love you.
Goodbye.
Papa Seal, mission accomplished. Mission accomplished.
Go!
All right, we got to lock in. Got to lock in. Survival kit. My survival kit edition will be go-to music in a long car ride. So, preface this. We drove back to Missouri on Thursday morning.
Okay.
On Wednesday, our AC upstairs went out. Both kiddos were getting over sicknesses. Good.
Yeah.
Got to be dialed in. Good.
Yeah.
We were in the trenches. I had to get an HVAC guy over. Shout out to boy Robbie. They fixed the problem. We needed like some compressor or some new part that broke or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But the upstairs was sitting at 90 degrees and it was blowing out hot air, bro. Thankfully, the first floor was good, so the kids are napping on the first floor. But all to say, like, you're kind of backs up against the wall. We're about to travel again. Long car ride to Missouri, about a 5-hour drive. Recently, we went to Florida, and that's like an 9-hour drive. And
yeah.
Both of them, there and back, was absolute hell. And all I'm thinking of...
I thought it was going the other way.
Hell, bro. And so you're going into this 5-hour car ride, and you're just hoping for the best.
Yeah.
Dude. I shit you not. It was one of those situations to where I would conservatively say at least 3.5 hours of that 5-hour drive, one of them were screaming. One of them was screaming.
Oh, well.
It was mostly Scotty, and it was bumming me out because she's our little 7-month going on 8 months old.
Little saint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's the best, dude. And it's like, she's starting to get a little more wiggly. She's starting to not want to be confined to the car seat. And she was just blaring, bro. And Charles back there, God bless her. She's trying to rock her and sing to her and do all the things because you're not wanting to take him out of the car seat like that's a bad thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's like shaking a couple hard extra times. And I'm up there. She's like, Scotty, come on. Like I'm right here. I'm right here. Cause she's a big mama's girl right now.
Yeah.
And I'm singing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star just on repeat up while I'm driving. And I'm doing the trying to create white noise. We're playing white noise. We probably get them both down for an hour, but it was hell, man, because it gets so loud. Rue is doing a great job trying to be patient. She starts off really rocky. We're like, dude, we can't do this. Yes, it's a long drive. She's like, I don't want long drives. Why is this so hard? And her phrases right now is, why is this so hard? And I can't do it. And it's like, you're sitting there, you're like, it's only as hard as you make it, Rue. Because you start to get worked up and you're trying to like talk them down. Like, dude, we're locked in the car. You think Dad wants to be locked in a car? You think I want to drive 5 hours? Locked in 4 doors with you guys screaming? No, Dad doesn't want that. But is Dad crying? Is Dad saying how hard is this? No, you got to embrace the hard, Rue. You have to embrace the suck. We're in the suck.
Let your heart turn black, Rue.
Yeah.
Apply
bro.
yourself and you
embrace
can do
it.
anything.
What can we look at out the window? Can we start trying to guess letters? What's on this sign? What's on that? What's on that side? Do you want us to do a song? I can't do it. I can't with this kid. I can't with this kid right now. She ends up getting calm. But then Scotty is pissed about being in the car seat.
And you can't talk.
Then it gets to where the Rue's like, your yelling hurts my ears. It hurts my ears. I'm like, Rue, sweetheart, that's not helping her. She's a baby. She doesn't know. You did this when you were little. Mama and Dad had to sit through. You got to just,
I
gotta
didn't.
try and calm her down. No, stop. It hurts my ears. Well, if you're yelling, it's going to hurt her ears too. It's hurting my ears. You're just going back and forth like, God help us. God help us all. God help us all, dude. And finally,
oh my God,
the white noise helped and knocked them both out for an hour. Because we're telling her, sweetheart, just fall asleep. You said you're tired. Like, just close your eyes.
Yeah.
I can't. Why is this so hard, dude? Stop with that shit, man. But she ends up falling asleep. They're both up for an hour, but the last probably 45 minutes home. Scotty's upset, but Rue, this is where the survival kit go to music in a long car ride. She ends up talking like, I want the word song. I want like it was the phonics song by Gracie's Corner.
Ooh.
And she just like goes through the alphabet. A stands for apple. Apple. I don't know. It's this phonics song that we just played on repeat because you get to where you might have a Rolodex of songs, but they only want to listen to one song over and over and over. And it was phonics song by Gracie's Corner. Nice little catchy, kind of hip-hop-ish song to where you can kind of dance a little bit. Rue doesn't want you to sing the words.
Don't help Rue.
Dad, you don't have to say the words. I got you, sweetheart. It's just catchy. I want to sing it. No, I don't want you to sing it. Because she's trying to memorize the song.
Hey, shout out that video that you sent me of her memorizing the book. That was crazy.
Bro.
Tell the listeners about that.
So, Rue can memorize her books, and kids have a very good memory when they're around that age. And it's weird, like situations that they can recall, whether it's a year ago or an old memory, whatever it is, and you're kind of just surprised by them being able to remember that. She does better with names, like remembering people's names better than I do.
Yeah.
And she can memorize these books, dude. And sometimes it's like Go Dog Go, Old Hat, New Hat, smaller books like that. But bro, she has this book, Ziggy and the Three Pigs. The tale of the three little pigs with the big bad wolf.
Yep.
Well, in this day and age, there's now a fourth pig. His name is Ziggy, who doesn't live in a house at all. He lives under the stars, and he wants to go swimming. And he goes by his 3 little Fred, Ned, and Ted, who have the house made of straw, sticks, and bricks. Yep. And he asks them, you want to go for a swim today? Haven't you heard the big bad wolf is coming to town? I would be sheltering up if I were you, Ziggy. No, I don't want to stay. I don't want to go inside. I think I'm going to go enjoy the water. Suit yourself, buddy. Big bad wolf comes and blows every house away. Even the brick house. Even the brick house. Because old Ned, Ted, or Fred, whoever lives in the brick house, he's got a new grate that sits on top of the fireplace. So, hey, big bad wolf, don't even think about coming down the fireplace because I fixed that too. And I'm going to huff and I'm puffing, I'm going to puff and I'm going to huff and I'm going to blow your house down. House made of bricks. They're all gone. All the pigs are squealing. Where do we go? They run to the ocean where Ziggy was having a swim that day. He was building sand castles. Now he built a little raft out in the water. Ziggy, hey, just swim out to the shore. Let me do the talking. If he blew down our houses, what do you think he's going to do to you? He ate us for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. He's going to have you for a midnight snack. Just swim out here and let me do the talking. Big Bad Wolf comes out. He's out of breath. If you don't come off that raft, I'm going to huff and puff. I'm going to huff and puff and blow you to pieces. And
do it.
Ziggy starts talking shit to the Big Bad Wolf. Hey, last I checked, I heard you don't have a strong enough breath to blow out a birthday candle. Gets the wolf all worked up, and right when the wolf's just about to blow that raft to smithereens, Ziggy lifts the sail. The wolf blows him out to sea. They have a pool day, and they're happy that Ziggy went swimming that day. But this book has, I'm talking like 8 to 10 lines.
Multiple lines.
And Rue knows the entire book word for word.
You need to send that video to Chef and let it play out. Like for listeners of,
or
like viewers.
We'll play it right now.
To the beach, Ziggy stopped at Ned's house. Ned was putting a grate on his chimney. What's that for, said Ziggy. Jesse after Big Bad Wolf protection. They will no one come down chimneys, you know. But this grate is guaranteed wolf-proof. I would imagine you're in there and staying going to swim, says Ziggy.
Same was that video when I sent it to you.
Absolutely unreal, because as I'm watching it, I'm like, yo, wait, is she reading? I was like, how is she reading at that age? Wait, how old do you learn to read? Blah, blah, blah. Can't read.
They don't know how to read.
Because I remember you being like, she can't select music on Spotify. She doesn't know how to read. Chef you just watched it, going word for word. I'm going down the line with her, and it's word for word.
Dude, it was
She's
nuts.
got a noggin.
And she'll read the page and like look up when she turns and looks up at me with this biggest smile, and it just lights up the room, dude. I'm like, oh, Rue, that is awesome. Dad is so proud of you. That takes a lot of focus and effort and hard work, and you're trying to like, encourage them and pat them on the back for like the attributes and characteristics that go into it, other than being like, you're so smart. But it is it's fascinating seeing these little kids and what their memories are like, bro.
It's crazy, dude.
It's hard being biased, not thinking, yo, is this kid's gonna be something special, way better than their old man.
I'm having that issue with, I talked to you this morning about Scarlett. I think she potentially could be the cutest baby of all time. Potentially,
because my baby's also the cutest baby of all time.
And see that, and there lies the problem.
Viewers right now, their baby's the cutest baby of all time.
That's what I'm saying.
So you say that, I'm thinking, okay, let's have a little cute off.
That's the question I've been asking Jill. Is I go, honey, I think she's so cute, but is she really that cute?
Dude, it's the
best. Is she really that cute?
Feeling in the world, man. You're just so enthralled and so in love with your child, man. It is the best feeling. And I was telling you this morning that you are, because you were talking about how it's just the best and it's the greatest thing in the world. And the best thing is and parents know this too, like you are in the best days, and the best days just get better. Like I felt like every month was my favorite month, and they just keep getting better. Now I will say I'm at a point to where 3 is the hardest age that I've dealt with, to where it's my favorite because I love being in these moments and I love that we only have so many years. But also 3 is a motherfucker right now at the Compton household. Yeah. Because Rue, she is independent, wants to do everything on her own. But they are like, bro, it gets better every month. And when people are like, oh, wait till they get 6 months, or wait till they get 8 months. Like, I'm sure I'm going to make those comments to you. Or wait till they get 12 months or 16 months. Not the good ones, but it's like, it's going to get even better. And you're just going to be thinking, yo, Scarlett at 2 months rips. Like, why weren't they saying 2 months is the best month? It weirdly gets fucking better, dude. It's awesome. I'm so fired up for you.
She rips right now. I'm like, you sleep like crazy. You're awesome at sleeping. You eat like crazy. You're awesome. And look how small you are. Yeah. Like, oh my gosh. Okay, so we do
survival kit. We got to keep it under an hour.
Survival kit. I might skip survival kit because we have 8 minutes.
Skip it. Go to dad hack.
Skip it. Dad hack. Pulling the burp cloth. All right, you put your baby right here. If you're burping over the shoulder, one thing you can't do is baby's face into your shoulder, because then, they can't breathe.
Yes.
How do I adjust my baby's head? I'm scared I'm gonna break her neck. Blah blah blah. Burp cloth, baby. Then grab burp cloth, pull out.
Ooh, it moves their head. Good dad hack.
And that comes via Jill, but such a good dad hack, dude.
Own your dad hack.
Good. Well, I've been doing it, and dude, you feel like a pro. You put her on there, and then you pull that out, and that head turns, and then you just, and you hear that.
Oh, when they get the burp, dude, it's a celebration. Because sometimes it's a battle getting that burp out, and you're just like, sweetheart, just burp. It's going to make you feel better.
Yeah. And as soon as she burps, back down to football, and then wait.
Boom. Yes.
And just
Easy.
She got it from somewhere.
Dad hack. Unpack the suitcase when you get home.
Yeah.
Unpack the suitcase when you get home. Time and time again. I'll listen. I've been 2-0 with the last 2 times, but every time when I get home, you just want to kick the feet up. We're finally home. This is nice. Like, you want to kick your feet up on the couch. You want to maybe enjoy a snack. Don't do that, fellas. Don't do that. Just unpack the suitcase with your wife, because your wife's not going to stop. Yeah. They're going to be going around. Let's unpack. Sweetheart, why don't we just, I got to get Ruth's suitcase unpacked. I got to get Scotty's suitcase unpacked. I got to unload the food and snacks we got back into the pantry. Yep. I got to unpack my stuff. I don't like when it just sits on the floor.
And you probably got
I won't touch it.
You're probably fighting that car ride shit.
Now,
everybody gets
I will sneak in a little too. I'll sneak in a 2. Sweetheart, I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick, and then I'll be ready to go. But just unpack the suitcase. If nothing else, unpack the kid's suitcase and the stuff that goes back into the pantry and the refrigerator, so that way mom knows, hey, you're dialed in just the way she is.
Yes.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Because I'm still the cat that doesn't unpack my suitcase when I get home.
Yep.
I'll leave mine sitting there at the edge of the bed or down by the side of the floor, because you never know what I might dig back into to pull out. I never really unpack the suitcase when I get back home.
No, I don't.
My own.
I was about to say I'm terrible at that.
And mine will sit in there until my next trip, and then I'm like, all right, then I'll unpack the suitcase and then repack it for my next trip. Papa Team 6. However, dad hack, unpack the suitcase when you get home. Just put the head down, put the helmet on, dude. Yep. Strap up, get the night vision goggles on, and get ready to work. For everybody else, do all the work with everybody else. With your wife, take the kid's suitcase to her room, unpack it. Sometimes you look in the suitcase, be like, I don't know where this shit goes. Wife will know where it goes, but at least place it out so she knows, oh, you're dialed in.
Got something
everything
light,
back in the fridge.
Hand it to Rue.
Yeah, you can leave your suitcase. For the dads, you can leave your suitcase packed, just to be clear. But unpack the other suitcases.
Good call.
Unpack the other suitcases.
Good call.
Call-ins.
Call-ins. We have 4 of them.
And let's get to them.
And we have 5 minutes. First call in.
Do I have this?
Do you have what?
I'm scrambling.
No, I have it. I have it right here.
You have them to play.
First one. A lot of anonymous this week. The only one that wasn't anonymous is a mom.
Oh, let's go. First mom call in. Got to keep it under an hour. Let's go.
Boys, we're in a situation. Soon to be father, long time soon to be. My wife's in the first trimester, and she's feeling like absolute dookie. So hope to be a first-time dad, but I'm also a first-year head coach at the age of 25. So I'm just driving back from the school at 11:30 p.m., camp tomorrow morning. I pull into the driveway, literally sitting in the driveway right now, being the hero in all realms, husband, coach, teacher, hopefully father, God willing. And I'm sitting in my driveway, just got a bunch of crap done, prepared for tomorrow, knowing that I told my wife I'd do the dishes today because she loves a clean kitchen, and she hasn't been doing much since the first trimester. God bless her heart. And I just know I'm about to go to battle with these dishes at 11:30 p.m. right now. And so I texted my assistant coach, told him be ready for violence in the morning. And to be honest, I don't know if that can wait till then. Anyways, appreciate you boys. Keep up the podcast. Love you.
Buddy, that call-in right there is, I've always loved the idea of coaching. I love it. I would love to do it.
You'd be phenomenal.
And the only thing that's held me back is just the time you have to pour in, because he's hopefully, right, knock on wood, soon to be dad. Hopefully all goes well, all goes smooth. But you're also like the dad of like an entire football team. Yeah. You're also the guy that's operating the coaching staff. You have to get stuff ready. You're late nights, it's early mornings, everything in between. You also want to be a family guy at home. All of that stuff. I can only imagine the stress that man feels sitting in the driveway, 11:30 at night, thinking I got to go Oklahoma drill and meet these dishes in the A gap.
But he's going to do it. He's a future dad. He sounds like he's got it dialed in.
Yeah, 25-year-old head coach. Hats off to you, bro. That is awesome. Shout out to you for listening to the pod. Can't wait to welcome you with open arms in the Papa Team 6. I hope the dishes went well, because you are right, bro. The ladies, they want a clean kitchen. They don't like clutter in the house. We have to declutter. We have to think about this shit, because it's hard for us to think about this shit. I don't always remember to get all the boxes. I've talked about the boxes issue before. Then they just start putting stuff away that you're like, I didn't even know we're taking time right now to put stuff away. But just, you got to be on your shit. He's somebody that's going to be away from the house a lot, but you got to be dialed in. You got to be dialed in. You got to go full, what is it? They circle around. Bull in the ring. You got to be ready for shots at every angle.
Yep.
And you got to know you are walking into a bull of the ring situation when you get home. Because I know he cares about his career. He wouldn't, if he didn't care about his career, he wouldn't be a head coach at 25 years old.
Yes.
But you have to be fucking dialed.
You
got to want violence and expect violence.
Yes. I'm quite literally facing the exact same situation as far as I have 2 minutes.
Yeah, let's go. Next one. Got to stay under an hour.
Got to stay under an hour. Next caller, please go fast because we got to stay under an hour. This is our first mom call in.
Okay.
Sherman. My name is Betsy. I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Betsy,
I'm a huge fan of the podcast, even though I know I'm not a dad and I'm actually not even a mom yet, but hoping to become a mom. And I would love your guys' advice. I'm really hoping that I get that positive pregnancy test in the next couple of days. And I want to surprise my husband by telling him when we are expecting our first baby. So what would you guys recommend as a good surprise for my husband? His name is Tyler, when we get that first 2 pink lines test. Thank you guys. Love the pod.
Betsy, let's go. Minneapolis, Minnesota.
And shout out her husband Tyler, a member of Seaman Team 6.
Right now he's on Seaman or Seed Team 6.
Yep.
He's on that squad right now. Betsy is wanting to show him a positive test result, asking for advice on how she should show him.
Yep.
Who knows if he watches the podcast, but maybe that's a spoiler alert right there. Hopefully not, because what I personally would think would be sick, we get her, Chef Jack, this is on you, get her merch ASAP.
Get her merch ASAP.
Hey, I got you something. I know hopefully Tyler's a listener of Bussin With The Boys.
Yeah.
I know you're a fan of Bussin With The Boys, so I went ahead and got you some merch. He opens it up, and it's some For The Dads gear. It's some For The Dads gear with a positive pregnancy test. And Betsy, sweetheart, I would love for you to film it.
Oh, please film it. Please film it.
And I hope we're not ruining the surprise right now.
Should we film a video and send it to Betsy of us saying, dial it in?
We could, but this is also going to be on the episode.
This is their moment too. Yeah, and this is also on that.
First mom call in, future mom. I hope everything goes completely smooth, Betsy. Thank you so much for calling in For The Dads. Fires me up that we had our first female call in. I love it. That's what we should do though. Chef, we got to dial that in. We got to get her address ASAP, and we got to tell Garrett, we got to tell the team, we got to overnight this shit.
Okay.
Because I think that would be a great gift.
That'd be sick.
Got to keep it under an hour.
Got it.
Can you play one more?
I literally have to go.
You have to go.
How
do I play?
Okay, so really quick, since we're
dads trying to figure out air. Technology. How do I play
the two that you need to play is this one and this one. After you play this one,
Will Sherm, Chef. This is a W.
Double click which one?
And this is also a dad hack.
Fireworks.
For one special.
Get out of here.
Okay. I love everyone.
Going shopping, Costco, big one. She gets the wrong deal.
Hey, call in your dad lesson. You said you had one, or video it in, and we can put it at the end.
Ooh, that's smart. I'll video my dad lesson. Love everyone.
Love you too, bro. Good luck out there.
Thank you, guys.
Let me know how it goes.
Yes, sir. Good luck, Sherm.
Tell Jill we love her.
Well, we love Jill. We love Chef. We love Will. For the dad. Love Team 6.
I love that son bitch, dude.
2%. Kids can't have that right now.
Hang on, I'll start this over.
Will Sherm, Chef. This is a W. And this is also a dad hack. I got a 2-for-1 special.
Dad hack Glody.
Wifey, going shopping, Costco, big box. She gets the wrong milk. 2%. Kids can't have that right now. It's okay. Scoreboard. Got her. That hack, sweetheart, don't worry. I'll return it. Here I am, 45 minutes later, by myself, taking a break. I did the return, looked around a little bit. Maybe I got something. this, got that. Here I am, backing into the garage. Put the game face on. Do with that information what you will. Love the show. Sherm, by the time this hits you, congratulations, sir. All right, boys. Big hugs, tiny kisses.
Hang on, let me.
You just hit pause. You hit pause on that.
What was his name?
He was anonymous. That was a
Anonymous
caller.
Anonymous caller. That is a great dad hack and a fat W for the scoreboard, because you're not only going to walk back in your house with the game face on, you're going to walk back in the house a hero because you went and got the correct milk. Now, the dad hack in that moment, because he said something here that all dads and Papa Team 6 need to understand. When those moments arise, you're the first to raise your hand and say, I'll go get this, because it buys you a little break. It buys you a little break getting out of the house, listen to maybe what you want to listen to. It gives you some alone time, nice little freedom time, because you're ultimately doing what needs to be done. You just want to be the first in line to say, hey, I will go pick up the milk. Hey, I will go get this grocery. Oh, we don't have frozen French fries for dinner. What kind of side do we want for dinner? I'll run down to Trader Joe's right now and go get that. And you get in the car and you enjoy that little freedom that you have for a fleeting moment, because you're going to have a smile on your face, maybe crack a window. But that is a dad hack. That is a dad W right there. And that needs to be in every dad's playbook. Is if something's not right at the house and you can go get it, go now. Go get it now, because you're going to get yourself a little window of a bit of a break. You're going to get yourself a little bit of a break. We don't need any moms to see this clip. We don't need any moms to hear this episode in that part, because moms, they might throw it back on us now. Now that they know this, now that they know that that's in the little playbook, moms might be first in line doing something like that. Then you're stuck at home with the kiddos.
Yes. CVS was just a mile away and you're gone for an hour. What was going on?
Sometimes I will take my time. You kind of sit in, catch up on a couple things, work related, of course.
Yeah, of course.
But then you pull in, you sit in the driveway. I love that he's backing in. He's just sitting in the driveway buying a few extra minutes before he walks back into the war zone. However, you got the milk in hand. You're a superhero. But appreciate that call, anonymous caller. We can get to, I have to do the final caller.
Yeah, just click. Sherm, tell you where to click.
Fireworks, Anon.
Yep.
Boys, I'm over here right now. I just turned 30 this week, all right? And I got a question for you. I don't understand why, but I'm getting real fucking grouchy with all these neighbors blowing off fireworks. Got the 18-month-old trying to sleep all night. And fucking, when I was a kid, I was blowing off fireworks like the rest of them. God bless the USA. I'm patriotic as fuck. But there's got to be some respect. Midnight. 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. We shouldn't be blowing off fireworks, boys. What do I do? Because I'm about to walk outside and beat some motherfucking ass right now. Sorry, I don't know if we're allowed to swear. Kid show.
Kid show.
Let me know. Bye.
Papa Seal, thank you for calling in. And I agree with him here. And that's like a turning of the tide. Like, are we becoming Karens by feeling like fireworks shouldn't be just 2 or 3 in the morning. If you're past midnight and you're hearing fireworks go off, I think you have the right to step outside and go full dad mode on some kids. I think you have full on right to say, hey, fellas, pipe down a little bit. Trust me, I was in your shoes. I loved blowing up slugs and blowing up fireworks late into the night hours. I'm not a cop. I'm not going to call the cops, but I need you to tone it down, because I got an 18-month-old upstairs, and these loud noises, I have to check on her every time, because it scares me that she's going to get woken up. And if she gets woken up, you can bet your candy asses that I'll be out here and the cops will be called. So you better straighten your shit up, young man. Look at me when I'm talking to you. Yeah, you. Cut the shit out. I don't want to come back out here again, because I swear to God, I will rain hell if my 18-month-old gets woken up by your little fucking fireworks. Because I'm with you. I'm with them. I was that little degenerate kid that wanted to stay up as long as possible. My parents would always make me come inside. But if I did have the flexibility to be out as late as I possibly could shooting off fireworks, I would do that, because you don't know any better. You don't know how to think of everybody else and that there's families going on. But even when the fireworks were going off at like 10 p.m., and Scotty's sleeping. Thank God she didn't wake up. But every time a pop goes off, I'm like checking down on her to see if she's going to get woken up. Cause I'm thinking, God, we got to have some time limit. And then I'm like, oh, Will, you're getting a little too old. You're getting a little too, that's kind of some boomerism coming out of you right now. So I feel his pain. That's how I would probably handle it, is if it's going on past midnight. I think you got to go pop a seal. You got to go outside. You got to set the expectation. You got to let them know, hey, I'm on your side. I was where you were at. But if you keep this shit up, I don't want to call it. I want you guys to have a great time. But if you keep this shit up and my daughter or my son wakes up, bet your sweet little ass I will be right back out here and the sirens will be going. Because I will call in the entire army on you guys for interrupting my daughter or my son's sleep.
You have a dog too, right?
Waffle's terrified of fireworks. She goes and like nestles in a corner.
That's the other.
Some people probably have dogs that bark.
Well, I was with some dogs
or get all worked up during the fireworks.
Freaked out from the fireworks. And it was the same thing. They were going off till like the neighbors. I was with my girlfriend at her family's house, and they have 4 dogs, and they were not. It wasn't good. And the fireworks were going to about midnight, and it was right next to them.
Yeah. You're not opened up to all of this, I feel like, until you kind of become a parent, or you're an adult with real responsibilities where maybe you have to be up the next day and some of this stuff's going off and you're thinking, the loud music. But when you're a kid, you're not, man, why do they got to be such a party pooper? Like, why do they have to be like that? Like, we're just having fun out here.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but like even at 23, there's a few things where I remember as a kid, I'll be like, God, my old man would get pissed off about stuff. And I'm like, dude, what? You need to relax. And even at 23, I'll sit there and I'll be like, that motherfucker's driving too fast down through our neighborhood. And
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit, I'm turning into my dad. And that's terrifying. But like,
it'll be more and more, especially once you get the family going.
Yeah.
Because now you'll be a lot more cautious driving faster down certain roads, driving down roads, just driving in general, because you just never know. Like, you have your little one, they're like exploring. They don't know. You're trying to teach them. But shit can happen like that, dude. Appreciate the call in, though. Appreciate the call in, and we will get into our last segment, which is a quote, a lesson, or something that has marinated with us that we would like to share, or maybe something that we're trying to learn ourselves to become just better fathers in general. And I came across something on Instagram that I will just share. Let's see here. Children. I do have a collection where it just says children, so that way I can throw in the stuff that I see. I'm like, oh, I like that. I want to come back to it. But I was thinking too, because a lot of times as parents, you want to be able to provide your kids with like great experiences or trips, or take them somewhere because you think it's going to be an awesome memory. A lot of times it is because you're just there and you're just present. But I know there are a lot of people that can't afford every trip in the world, and they probably question themselves on if they are being the parent that they should be, that they want to be, that they are to their kid, because their friends might be doing something cool and they might not get. Oh, my wife's calling me. Hang on. What I was going off of, I kind of lost my train of thought.
Talking about you have a kids thing on your phone, right?
Yeah. I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw this, and I know me as a kid growing up, I didn't always get to go on cool trips that I thought, my friends were going on and everything else. So for those parents out there, there's something I saw on Instagram that I thought would be fun to read. Shout out at Modern Parents Guide. Good follow on Instagram. You don't need a $5,000 Disney trip to build a happy childhood. You need a garden hose, a popsicle, and a parent who's present. And here's the science behind why the backyard is enough. By age 5, your child's brain is 90% developed. It's not shaped where you go, but by how safe and how connected they feel. The brain doesn't store luxury. It stores emotion and repetition. The moments that happen again and again become the wiring beneath everything. Backyard play offers the perfect recipe for healthy brain development. It offers predictable rhythm, emotional co-regulation, and sensory-rich learning. When your child feels safe in your presence, their nervous system calms, and the brain opens up to learn, explore, and grow. This happens best in everyday spaces. So sprinklers, mud puddles, bare feet in the grass. These aren't just fun. They build the sensory maps that wire attention, movement, and emotional control. A $1 popsicle lights up more joy than a $1,000 theme park. If it comes with attunement, your face is what makes the memory magical. Children don't need constant stimulation. They need responsive presence. The brain develops best when life slows down enough to feel. And research shows it's repetition with emotional safety that wires long-term regulation. That means the same swing, the same snack, the same smile. You're not depriving your child when you stay home more. You're giving them space to rest, to attach, and to trust. The most resilient adults often had childhoods filled with routine, attunement, and calm nervous systems, not expensive plans. One day they won't say my childhood was magical because of where we went. They'll say it was magical because of how I felt at home. You already have what they need: your eyes, your voice, your presence, and yes, your backyard. Save this for the days you wonder if it's enough, because it is. The little things don't just matter, they build the brain. Shout out at Modern Parents Guide for more insights on raising emotionally secure kids. So a little shout out to a profile that I follow. And I saw that too. And I just think it'd be cool I thought it'd be good for just parents to hear, because at times you battle with, I want to take him here, or this would be really cool for him. And sometimes it might not fit the schedule. It might not fit the budget. It might not fit the madness that goes on in all of our lives. But all those like reminders on the small things are the best things. Those daily traditions, or weekly traditions, or monthly traditions, just your presence alone, it builds who they are. So that was the lesson that I wanted to share. Something that kind of resonated with me.
It's true. I mean, you remember, as a kid growing up, like being with my dad and brother is what I always remember a lot. Playing sports in the backyard, or whether it's riding my bike around, or walking to the neighborhood pool. I was fortunate we got to go on trips and stuff because my dad traveled so much, like for work, that he got points and stuff. And they always tried to expose me and my brother, but like the stuff that I always remember is like that time you spend, and like, sometimes you make fun with like what you have. And I think I was like the last probably generation or age where we didn't grow up with screens. So I grew up, I got on my bike and you went over to, my buddy Warner's house, or across the neighbors, the Edwards, and we would go play football in the backyard or go build a fort. And it wasn't until like maybe like probably 5th grade when like the iPod and iPhone started coming around. But that was still like, that's how we grew up. We went outside and, spent a lot of time doing that. So I think,
and just making the most of what you have.
Yeah. You don't need a lot to have fun. That's kind of the best part. And I hope that's, it better. Like, I guess kids nowadays with like screens and stuff, like you put that in front of someone, like I worry about like that kills creativity and like kills like imagination and stuff. Like
the screen stuff is such like a unique topic, because it's like you just battle. Like I feel like we do a pretty good job. And it's almost like, when we got done with that car ride to Missouri, it's like Charles ends up making the comment to me, like once we get to the Airbnb that we were in, he's like, we kind of do it to ourselves because we don't like you could easily just throw a screen in front of them and just keep them occupied. But you think about the long term of, in those situations, giving them a screen, then they start to get dependent on the screen. Then anytime they act up or misbehave, or you're having those moments where you'd rather just put a screen in front of them than leave the pool. And then it's like, that's how they start to co-regulate, or that's how they start to regulate their emotions, by being like, oh, I need a screen. And then you chalk it up as like, hey, that'll keep their attention on this and not present in the moment. Or you're battling through boring moments of tantrums, all the things that like, it's hard for the parent in the moment, but the longevity of it, or the long term from it, is like, you get to where I was reading something to where it's like, if you're putting screens in front of them, and I'll have this sharpened up for the episode next week, but if you put screens in front of them now and you're doing it to kind of ease the short-term pain, then they get dependent on those screens. And then when they get to school and they realize there are no screens there, or the work that they can do that might not be on a screen, or maybe it is on a screen, but their attention is so locked in on focusing on a screen that they don't have the attention to stay locked in, in a classroom, or when they're in group settings, to where, all the ADHD and stuff kind of starts to spike up or come to the surface a lot more these days, I feel like. And then, you know, you're starting to medicate your kids, all because it's like in the building block developmental brain stages of just fighting, like putting a screen in front of them just because it'll take their attention away from the current moment to put them on a screen. And that'll just, you know, it'll be this bad ripple effect that happens like when they do get in school or when they're becoming adults, because they just don't have, they don't have that brain development that they should have had when they were little.
I agree. And it's kind of like, I don't know about when you were growing up, but like my parents were very adamant, like no TV in my room. Like I know some parents, like growing up, I had friends who they had a TV, and whether it was TV time or something, my parents were like, no TV because we know you and your brother, you guys will turn it on. You'll act asleep and then get up in like midnight and watch like a movie or something.
Yeah.
But
that's how we were.
That's
how we were.
Mom, they were adamant. So I grew up instead, which I actually like at the time. You're sitting there, maybe when you're growing up and you're kind of pissed off, like Billy gets a TV, like, you know, and you're going, I have to. But then looking back at it, I'm like, oh man, like I'm kind of glad because I learned instead of doing that, I read. Like that was a normal thing. Like I read all the time to go to sleep, and it's something that even as I'm getting older, I'm like I find myself on TikTok and stuff, and I'm like, that will keep you up. Like I've learned that
the doom scrolling,
man, and I have to put my phone away. Like for anyone that has issues with that, what I've started doing is that no TikTok, no Instagram Reels, 3 hours before bed. Like I set a hard no, and that's like I've started sleeping so much better.
Yeah,
but it's like I feel you on that, where it's like you get worried about.
You're right though. Like if I even think about we had a TV in our room, and I watched TV. I'd fall asleep to the TV. We've like, even though we didn't have screens, like, you know, once computers were a thing and you could play backyard baseball or Sims or Roller Coaster Tycoon, we'd be fighting over to have like computer time. And I just feel like with that, I was in the generation of high school where the iPhone came out, to where there was MySpace and Facebook just started. But thinking of myself now, like there'll be a lot of times like I can just admit that the phone will consume me at times, where my attention is like fleeting. We don't have a TV in our room now. Like Charles is a big believer in not having a TV in the room and everything else. But Cody was somebody who had like ADHD. And if I think about my brain on how my attention works at times, I feel like I can think back to those things and be like, yeah, I was like a menace with whether playing video games or watching TV, playing video games late at night, wanting to stay up late or sneaking it in the other room.
Catch you trying to play video games late?
Oh yeah, and you know, you get reprimanded from it and get disciplined. Sometimes on weekends, not enough, or not like we probably should have. But if you're just thinking about the screens and everything else, like Cho and I are big on just, I guess, just eating and leaning into the fray, and just it's like making it hard on ourselves, I guess, to protect what we feel like screens would do if we're putting them in front of our kids all the time. Because Rue will get pissed off when she ran out of TV coupons last week. You know how we do that coupon system, and she used up her last 30-minute coupon to where it was like the next day, hey, you don't have any more. Like, I know you want to watch TV. Trust me, I would love for you to watch TV so I could just take a break, but your 30 minutes, your coupons ran out. You're just going to have to know next week, hey, you're going to have to spread them out a little bit better.
Just deal with it. I, by the way, recommended that to a couple I saw this weekend. They have a little 3-year-old boy. Shout out Townsend. And the dad, Logan, great guy. He looked at me. He's like, I don't know, dude. He's a fucking demon.
Dude, like, I'm telling you. Because Rue, like, she'll get pissed. Like, Dad, can I watch more? Yes, sweetheart. You have like 15 more minutes. Yes, you can watch more. Like, she's always checking. Like, am I able to watch more? Yeah, you have like 15 more minutes. But when it's done, it's done. You have to turn it off.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a battle, just because like you're giving them a little bit of screen time. And again, the screens are just like gravitating. They love to be on those fucking things. And so Charo and I, we fought our asses off not to like go to, you know, she doesn't know what an iPad is, but like give her an iPad or give her a screen when we're in the car or traveling.
Do you think it's inevitable that sooner or later?
Yeah,
of course it is. Like, just them growing up, but like, you're gonna just hold out as long as possible.
You know, I'm not sure until we get there. Like, again, like my only experience right now is I have an 8-month-old and a 3-year-old. Like, I don't have, you know, an 8-year-old, a 9-year-old, a 10-year-old, somebody who's going to school and they might have, you know, screens. And I'm sure that they'll, you know, with the AI movement, just technology in general, they're gonna have to like understand that world. But I don't know, we talk about it. Like, we don't want them to have social media, even through high school. Don't want them to have social media. Just the stuff I'm reading in the Strong Father, Strong Daughter stuff, the data. it's just scary to think about. I'll continue to put like a framework or something to go by later, like as she gets older. But I know like right now we want to do whatever we can not to have them like dependent on screens, or definitely not social media or having their own phone. Those are like what the conversations we're having now as she's a 3-year-old. So I don't know how it'll develop or adapt in the future, but I know it's like, it's one of those things we want to be very cautious.
Yeah, I think that's all good. I think you guys have a good mindset of it. As someone who's not a parent, but that's kind of stuff that I'm like, man, like a lot of that stuff's scary. Social media is a big one.
Dude, I know, like depression is getting more real at the young age.
You start to base your life off of like that social presence.
Yep.
And it's like, it's just so dangerous. And I'm like, and that was, I mean, you said high school is when MySpace came out. When I was in like middle school, Snapchat became big, then Instagram, and those were ones that, and then like just naturally, I think my age is like some of the first that really like you grew up and you started. I think I had an Instagram account when I was like in middle school.
Yeah,
but it's like you start to like, look around. You do a lot of looking.
Yeah, you do a lot of comparing,
comparisons, and it's just.
And people can think it's weird or like disagree with it, but I think even us as adults, like even we struggle with it.
Yeah,
you get caught 100%. Comparing, looking at everybody's highlight reels. You want to post all the best things on your social media, even if you're not somebody who posts a lot. Like I'm sure you sit there and you scroll. Like even we struggle with it as adults, and it's like these kids that just don't even have a fully developed brain, or they don't understand how the world works, and they're getting how the world works from social media and everything that's not even real. Yeah. Consume their brain. Yeah, I think it's like a slippery slope. So we've started having those conversations, but I'm sure we'll continue to formulate whatever it is.
Yeah.
And you both just approach it with teamwork, man.
Yeah, man.
Arm in arm, staying strong.
In the shit.
We sure we don't want to let her watch some Bluey right now. We sure we don't want to let her watch something just to quiet down right now.
There needs to be a parent team 6.
Yeah.
Along with Papa Team 6.
Yeah, parent team 6.
You guys are both in it.
Yeah. But appreciate all of you tuning in. Please make sure to subscribe to our new channel For the Dads on YouTube. We're on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, everything. If you want to support us and rep the merch, bwtb.com. We will see you next week. Take out the trash. Love you.
Boys, I shot this horizontally. I hope it works. Chef, thank you for patching this into the episode. Will, here's my lesson of the week. Lesson of the week is to have a mentor that is further along in fatherhood than you are. Will is that for me, and I told him this morning that he was going to be my lesson of the week. And I don't think Will and I ever really planned, or, I never really asked Will to be a mentor to me. It just kind of naturally happened through conversations that we had with each other about family planning and his kids and his marriage with Charo and my marriage with Jill. And those conversations just kind of flowed very naturally and easily. But it has been a relationship in my life that I have learned so much from. And not that your mentor can't be like a father-in-law or your own dad, because obviously they're further along in fatherhood than you. But somebody that's a third party, somebody that's like outside of your family, maybe outside the traditions of your family, that has their own thing going on with their kids. And just being able to see another perspective here, another way of doing things, seeing Will even interacting with his kids and seeing Charo interacting with her kids, it's cool. And so I've just learned a ton from Will over these past couple months, and having these conversations with him, that it really has brought not only the confidence to start a family, which we've already touched on in the podcast, but it's brought me a lot of confidence in just being a dad. Just in these first, I'm like, day 4 of being a dad. So I hope that message finds anybody that is planning to start a family, or has just started a family, or maybe you got kids in high school, kids in college. I think that can apply to anyone and everyone. So just finding a mentor, finding a friend or accountability buddy that is further along in the fatherhood process.
And maybe for those PT6 sickos out there, finding somebody that is just becoming a dad, being that mentor to somebody. I know it meant a lot to me, Will kind of coming alongside and teaching me and showing me the ropes on a lot of different stuff and having convos with me. So any PT6 sickos out there that want to recruit their friends into the fatherhood or just be a mentor or a guide to them, maybe actively seek out some of those young gun future dads. That was my lesson of the week. I hope you all enjoyed the rest of the podcast. I know Will probably killed it. And again, Chef, thank you for patching this into the episode. I hope everybody has a good week. I hope we kept it under an hour. Peace and love. See you guys.
Go Big Red. Go Big Red. He said, "Go Big Red." Okay, put the corn head on. Put it on. Can we put on your...